I don't know if you guys have noticed, people aren't just cutting back anymore. They're straight up staying at home. Not because they want to, but because life just got too expensive. Restaurant, movies, bars, shopping, all the things that gives us joy, people just can't do anymore. Even leaving the house feels like a financial decision. And the crazy part is, millions of people are doing the exact same thing.
I've come to terms with the fact that at this point in my life, I cannot afford friends. I cannot afford brunch every single weekend. I cannot afford concerts every month. I cannot afford 10 birthdays in June. I cannot afford trips to God knows where. I cannot afford it. I can't even imagine being a bridesmaid or being in a wedding right now. That would set me back financially to a point of no return. And it's so funny because sometimes I see these large friend groups and part of me is like, wow, like that is so cool and that must be really nice. And then reality sets back in and makes me realize like you cannot afford that. And I've seen some people talk about this before, but not enough of how much of a luxury friendship is. It costs a lot of money to maintain and to create new friendships. And I'm in a place where I'm just surviving. The economy is what it is. I don't even know how people are going out. I mean, if I go out one weekend, I have to live like a monk the following weekend. So I really do need to pick my battles wisely these days. And having a lot of friends just is very expensive.
I am so tired of living my life in survival mode because despite having 2 college degrees and making close to $80,000 a year, I still cannot keep up with the cost of living. I still cannot afford all of my bills every month and have to live paycheck to paycheck. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I am sacrificing my mental health, my time, and my energy to take care of people in their most vulnerable moments, and a lot of the time they do not make it. At the very least, I should be able to pay my bills. And for anyone who's thinking, oh, well, you shouldn't have chose that job, somebody has to do it. And you know damn well if your loved one was critically ill, you would want somebody to take care of them, right? Something has to give. I cannot keep doing this.
Do you find it weird, because I find it weird, that I can't afford to go to the movies anymore? I think they're like $25 a ticket now. Hell, sometimes even $30. Do you hear how crazy that is? The common working person like me cannot afford to go see a movie, and I just want to go see a goddamn movie. When are we going to put our foot down and be like, hey, this is a little too much? The reason for these increased prices are always, well, you know, we make the movie theater experience amazing for you. We give you like nice recliners that are basically like beds. The surround sound is incredible. I don't fucking care, okay? I used to watch movies in shitty seats, and I had a great time. What would make you think that I wouldn't still do that? You'd think now that movies are being put directly to streaming services, you'd think theaters would be like, okay, let's kind of lower the prices. I mean, what, can we keep raising prices and people are just going to keep coming? Yes, apparently. Even the discount movie prices are going up at AMC. That's the only time my fiance and I ever went to go see movies. It was during the discount Tuesdays. It used to be $8 a ticket, and it was like $16 on the app. I go to do it the other day. It was $35. I just want to know when we're going to finally be like, no.
I live in Detroit, Michigan, and by the end of the month, I literally need $4,000, and I can't even afford that after 2 jobs. My rent in itself is $1,700 for the month. My electric bill is $300. Groceries for the month cost over $600. And now that I'm thinking about it, I literally didn't even factor in that gas costs $5 per gallon right now. I have to pay my phone bill, I have to pay the Wi-Fi bill, I have to pay for car insurance, I have to pay for my medical insurance. I literally rent a 1-bedroom apartment in Detroit. Why can't I afford to live off of 2 jobs? But yeah, Detroit is cheap, right?
I think the main reason why people don't drink as much anymore isn't really health related, though I think it's part of it. I think it really is money. I think a lot of people just literally cannot afford to go out and drink anymore. Things have just become way more expensive, and spending time with your friends or just going out is now so much more expensive than it used to be. And I think for a lot of people, when discretionary spending is tight, these kind of social activities are the first things to go. So when people feel like they are living paycheck to paycheck, they just are not going to go out. And part of this too is the loss of third spaces, which I talk about all the time, which are basically affordable places that are not home or work where you could go and hang out without spending a lot of money. And they are amazing places to form social connections, interact with kind of people in your community. And when you don't have these kind of affordable venues, a lot of us will just either stay at home or retreat into our phones or kind of look for these more expensive alternatives because we don't feel like we have another option. So, for example, that's why we see these explosion of like social clubs like Soho House, because people don't feel like they have any other place to hang out and meet people. And all of this just creates a very vicious cycle where people are financially stressed, and that leads to social isolation because you can't afford to socialize. But isolation makes the stress worse, which makes your money problems feel more overwhelming, which makes you retreat even further. And again, when people stop drinking, cutting back on alcohol, that signals some sort of economic anxiety. And yes, I think health is part of it, but I also think a lot of it has to do with the fact that people are just not feeling good about their finances and just feeling like they cannot do certain things because they cannot afford it.
Seems the collective is on the same page about everything doubling in price. You want to know my tip? Stay inside. We are staying inside in 2026, you guys. I just made myself a little dinner. I'm gonna watch some TV, put my laundry away, play some guitar, do some writing. Someone invited me out for drinks. It is my night off. Sounds really awesome, but you know what sounds even more awesome? Staying inside. Try it.
We have officially hit the breaking point. So now my question is, what do we do? The breaking point means that everything, as it's been getting more expensive, has now collectively gotten too expensive. So that it's not just people kind of getting behind on things. We're like from the point of no return where like there is no catching up anymore. Nobody can tell me I need to go work 80 hours a week doing something because I'm still getting now outpaced by the price of gas, electric, food. What are we supposed to do? Like this genuine human me to you, like what are we supposed to actually do? Because unfortunately right now, as most people are, they don't own anything. I don't own my car. I don't own the house I live in. I don't own these things. And so if I don't pay for them, I lose them. So if there's so many other people in the same spot, obviously like it's very clear that we're in a systematic collapse. But I think like it's what are we now going to do? Because there is no hyper individualism. I can't sit here and take any hyper individualistic advice to somehow turn my life around because it's not going to work. The world has now fallen apart so much. So, I mean, what are we supposed to do? What are we going to do? Most people's boomer-ended advice is not going to help anybody, and that era is over. The idea of going and working for somebody else and saying that this now solves my day-to-day livelihood problems are well over.
Obviously, lots of people are struggling just getting by day to day. And when you're living like that, the first thing that's going to go is fun. Going out with your friends, grabbing a bite to eat, movies. You now have much more important things to worry about, like not getting evicted and feeding yourself. And this isn't anything new. There's always been the rich and the poor. There's always been people struggling. There's always been people that are doing great on a yacht in Miami. But man, it sure does seem like there's a lot of people that aren't doing great right now. But let me know what you guys think. Has this economy affected you? Are you still able to have fun? Are you still able to go out? Let us know down below. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.